Man, it's definitely a blessing listening to my GOAT in number 84, Randy Moss, as you see, man, rocking the jersey right now as I do this video. Talk about a lot of people's GOAT, man, the generation coming up after me, the generation looking at Justin Jefferson as the GOAT and possibly being the GOAT, the greatest of all time. But this isn't something that I said or some other Vikings fan said. This is something that the GOAT himself, man, Randy Moss. All right, Randy Moss. Now, some people can say this is bias. He's a Minnesota Viking. I sat back and I thought about it too. Like, being a Vikings fan, like, although we may not have the Super Bowl, right? We don't have the Super Bowl, and ultimately that's what we want as a fan base. But thinking about one GOAT, right? A GOAT here, Randy Moss, talking about another receiver that's currently on the Minnesota Vikings that's on track to be the GOAT as well. You know what I mean? I think you can have, I know GOAT is like singular, but at the end of the day, I think you can have a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? And them being from the Minnesota Vikings, I'm cool with that. It's going to be hard for me personally to put Justin Jefferson above Randy Moss, but again, I'm not going to argue with the younger generation that's coming up that will put Justin Jefferson above a guy like Randy Moss, because the truth is Justin Jefferson still has some time to go, and there's no telling what he can do, especially with a guy like JJ McCarthy. You know, I had to throw that out there, man. But let's listen to Randy Moss, man. He was on TMZ Sports doing an interview. Let's listen to what he had to say about it, man.
I've always been a fan of a complete football player where you can score from anywhere on the field, and Justin brings that to the table. I think when you look at the overall picture of how they changed the game, you know, you done added a game, you done take the less runs out the game, so you're throwing the ball. For him to go down as the greatest, you know, Viking and arguably the greatest wide receiver to ever do it, I think I need to see more of Justin getting in that box, because I think I heard Cris Carter talking.
Hey, real quick, I want to touch on that because I feel like this is something that I criticize Justin Jefferson for, and that's not being a touchdown type of guy. You know, I know y'all have probably heard me say this over and over again about number 18 is he doesn't really have a nose for the end zone. A lot of it has to do with how defense plays him down in the red zone and things like that, and just how defense play him in general, because they're always bracketing him. So he's always going to be double and triple cover. They're always going to have extra sets of hands on him. That's just what it is. But hey, you can't make excuses though. I mean, at the end of the day, man, Randy Moss had no issue, man. He was getting in that end zone. You know what I mean? And Cris Carter too, he's about to touch on it about how somebody called him overrated. Yeah, Asante, man, like crazy. But, you know, being fourth all time, man, hey, I don't know.
The other day about somebody calling him underrated, but he's fourth all time of getting in that end zone. So I think at our position is not about the yards. The yards is what gets you the likes and the hearts and all of that. But if you want to really be legendary, this is speaking for all wide receivers, not just Justin Jefferson. You got to find ways to get in that end zone and bring the fans out of the stands, up out of their seats. So, but to answer your question, Michael, I think Justin Jefferson is on pace to be arguably the greatest ever and definitely the greatest Viking to ever do it.
For Randy Moss to say definitely the greatest Viking is crazy, man. Shout out Randy, man. What a class act, man. It's funny, as I'm watching this interview, sometimes I forget like how country Randy Moss is, man. Randy Moss is one of the most countryest people that I've known or listened to speak. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. Randy Moss is so country, bro. But I love it, man. I'm so glad that he beat cancer. You know, that, hey, that right there was a scare. I'm glad he's on track now to get 100% healthy. He's back doing his football talk type of job, thingy majig, you know, with Fox, I believe it is. So shout out to him, man. Shout out Randy Moss for doing this interview, man, because this is great insight coming from a guy that put up the type of numbers that Randy Moss put up. And you look at him and Jerry Rice, like they sit at the top. So there's an argument between who's the best wide receiver of all time, and it's Randy Moss or Jerry Rice, depending on how you look at things. And for him to come out and say that Justin Jefferson is on track to be the greatest of all time and absolutely, definitely the greatest Minnesota Vikings wide receiver of all time, that's big, man. Shout out my GOAT, man. Shout out 8-4, man. Let's go, man. But shout out Justin Jefferson too, man. I can't wait to see what he does in 2025. I think he's just going to continue to build on his legacy, man. Let me know what you feel down in the comments. Holla at your boy.
Smooth summer, who running? I hear them talking, but they ain't gon' do nothing. Celebration, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.